What if there is an afterlife? Hello, my name is Hayley Jones. In my first two videos, I started talking about the idea of our consciousness continuing after the physical body dies. I considered a few questions you might want to ponder further. In this video, I'm going to go into more detail about a couple more questions. Over the next several videos, I'm going to keep building on the ideas and going deeper to really explore how you might want to approach your life differently if the ideas I'm talking about are indeed reality. So let's consider the second question we asked in the previous video. What if there is an afterlife? Many people consider this to mean that our life here on earth is the dream and the real world is where we go when we leave here, or, as we say it, when we die. It is also said that we remain pretty much the same as we are on earth, though not physically, obviously. However, it would seem to me that we must gain at least a glimmer more understanding of how things work when we find ourselves conscious after we die, as we are now confident that we continue to exist after earthly life. The size of the glimmer would, most likely, be dependent on our current level of evolvement. A book I read a couple of years ago was purportedly the diary of a boy from the 19th century who could see dead people for his entire life. In fact, as a boy, it took him quite some time before he realized that not everybody could do this, and that in fact pretty much no one else he knew could. Certainly not anyone in his family. Unfortunately, this also meant that he was often hushed up by his parents or accused of downright lying, which he found very confusing at first. He was fortunate to have a tutor come along at some point who also had this ability and was able to guide him. He told a story of his grandfather who had passed over, often popping in for a chat. He and his tutor had been talking about reincarnation, and they asked the grandfather what he knew about it. He claimed to not know what they were talking about and was also pretty uninterested in the idea. There may be all kinds of reasons for this. He may have still been quite attached to the earth and hadn't really ventured far from the astral plane and his loved ones, or perhaps it was an energy imprint of his grandfather rather than his actual soul. There is a lot more to say about that, but we'll have to leave that for another time. Regardless of what it is we experience of those who have passed while we're still on earth, I believe that when we do pass, we have much easier access to the truth and can choose to learn as much as we like, according to what we are ready for. Many people describe feeling an overwhelming sense of love during near-death experiences. It seems that that is what we can feel in the afterlife. We are free to create and learn. When we seek guidance, there is someone there to provide it. My name is Hayley Jones. Thanks for watching. In my next video, we'll look at what it might mean if we are all part of Source. See you soon.